Our next graduate, Joveni Habib. Yusuf Hanna. Jesse Khella. Katrine Rafael. And for our last, but certainly not least, graduate, Yusuf Shahid.
Okay, and next for our college graduates, first up, Miriam Echnuch. Veronia Moros. Okay. All right, so that's it for the college graduates. Now we're going to transition and we're going to do the postgrads.
Now for our postgraduates. First graduate, Dr. George Bishara. Next is Beshmuhandis Michael Bishara. Next, we have Dr. Eva Dose. And now we have Mr. Tony Dose. And now we have Miss Madonna Iskander. Now we have Dr. Feriel Georgie. Now we have Dr. Bishoy Khalil. And to top off the graduates, we have Dr. Mariam Silman.
We'd just like to also give an honorable mention to two graduates who could not make it with us today. One is Verena Daniel, if you could give her a round of applause. And the other one is Carolus Hanna. Okay, so now we're gonna have some words from Abuna, so please give him your full attention for some words for the graduates.
Thank you. Today is a very special day to see all this number of graduates, especially I think for a long time we haven't had college graduates and post-grads, that number. So it's a great blessing to see these kids that we used to teach in Sunday school, little kids now, they're post-grad. Isn't that amazing? God is wondrous. God is wonderful, and it's a great blessing to see all the youth growing and becoming young adults, leading in their careers. That's wonderful to see. So again, I just would like to congratulate all the graduates, middle school, high school, college grads, and post-grad. Let's give them a big hand. And of course, every graduate, so either middle school, high school, or post-grad, they're not graduating out of a vacuum, right? They have friends, they have family that supported them. They have friends, they have a church community that support them. So they relied heavily on this community to support them. So let's give a big hand to the families and the friends and the church members who supported them. Yeah? Yeah. It's just, we all grew. We have found support from our friends in the church and Sunday school servants who taught us a lot. So it's a great blessing to recognize and honor them for all what they do. And I also would like to, all of you who, being in here today as a grad, please, no side talks, please. Thank you. Being here today as a grad, that shows the effort and the commitment and the dedication that you all have taken into all your classes. You took your school seriously. You worked very hard. So this is a great achievement for you. This is a big milestone for all of you. So I'm so grateful and blessed to see all these grads today. So it's a great blessings, and thank you for all your effort and commitment and never giving up on your career. I'm sure you had some rough days in your school and your career, some days where you felt down and you wanted it to quit, but you continued pushing and trying, and this is the result of your pushing and trying hard and never giving up. That's why you're here today, because you never give up. It's a great blessing to see this effort and commitment, and although the days were hard, but you continued in your path. It's a great blessing. Thank you so much. Let's give them a big hand. All right, okay. We as a church, as clergy, Abu Namina and I, and all the church and Sunday school servants, were so blessed and happy to see and honor and very happy for all your effort and commitment and dedications. So we're really so happy for you. Okay, the scripture, the Bible teaches us in Proverbs 3. Okay, in Proverbs 3, 5, it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take." I will read it one more time. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. That's the first part. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not. In some other translation says, depend not on your own understanding. So depend not on your own understanding. And in NIV, they used, instead of understanding, your intelligence. Do not rely on your knowledge or intelligence. Seek Him or submit to Him, and He will, His will, and in all what you do, and He will show you the path to take. He will show you the path to take. These verses, 2 verses, give us 4 principles that will help us and guide us throughout your career. Either you're starting your job or you're still in middle school, going to high school or college, will guide us in whatever decision that we're making in our life. So there are 4 principles that this verse teaches, help us to find God's will for our life, and also will help us to stay in God's path for our life. Okay. this is not a sermon. I'm just taking 10 minutes. Okay, so please. Okay. So 4 steps. First is, this verse says, trust in the Lord. So teaching us and to learn that we need to follow whatever God is telling us in the commandments. So first thing is we need to follow God's commandments for our life. Whenever we go somewhere, like in college, there are some guidelines and there are some principles. There's instructions that you have to fill out. Any class that you take, the first day of the class, what do you give you? Give you instructions. They give you introduction to the course, what you need to do. This is the homework assignment. This is the exams. This is the grade that you go. This is how you're going to be evaluated at your work in your school. So they give you instructions on how the course will go. And based on that, you will be evaluated. Well, we know how to follow instructions when it comes to some paperwork for school, for work, for a school, for whatever we're doing. They give us instructions to fill out applications or whatever. We have to follow these instructions in order for us to pass the class. However, when it comes to our spiritual life, God has given us some instructions in the Holy Bible. Unfortunately, we don't like to follow them. And we try to make our own instructions. And we try to, again, lean on our own understanding. Although in Proverbs it says, lean not or depend not. We do the opposite. We depend on our own understanding. Rather, the scripture says, depend not on your own understanding, on your own intelligence. God has given us instruction in His scriptures. So we need to follow these instructions. It's important. Again, we all know how to follow instructions. And if you don't follow them, there will be some consequences. But when it comes to the Word of God, an instruction that He's given to us, many times we found ourselves just, oh, do I really have to do that? So if I didn't pray, what's going to happen? So I didn't fast, what's going to happen? So if I went to that party, what's going to happen? If I don't just listen to the commandments and just, do it my own way, what's going to happen? And we keep testing the instructions of God and breaking the commandments and instructions of God. If you want to succeed in life, have a successful career, a successful life, if you want to keep your inner peace, if you want to be blessed in your career, you follow the instructions of God, follow what God is commanding you in the Holy Scriptures. Second, seek God's way. Seek the narrow gate. It's not a popular term. It's not something that we all like to do, but we need to follow God's, and He's telling us to go from the narrow gate, God's instructions. And the narrow gate, God told us in the Bible that it's going to be difficult. It's not going to be easy. But again, it leads to life. The result of following the narrow gate is it leads to life. It's not easy, but it will lead to life. So sometimes we find ourselves as graduates, maybe some of you are going to college, you find temptations. And we find ourselves many temptations, either career, parties, sex, drugs, whatever it is, temptations that we see around the campuses or even in high schools or colleges. These are temptations. Well, first of all, know that you're not the first to go through these temptations. This is part of life. Satan is offering all these, so it's not just you that going through these temptations. And second, you need to learn how to find and stick to what you have learned in the church and Sunday school lessons, what you have been taught. These are the principles that you need to stick to it. Temptations will happen, and it's all around us, okay? And you will be tempted many times. There are parties that your friends will be going to and you're not going to go to. There are things that they will do and you won't be doing. And this is the narrow gate. They will do things that you think it's fun, but it leads to destruction at the end. It leads to pain and cries at the end. Do not be deceived by these Satan's offerings. Do not be deceived. I pray that you stay strong. Learn that it's a narrow gate. This is the guide the Bible is teaching us. Do not try the way of the Satan and then say that it will be okay. No. God has given us some instructions to stick to it. Find good Christian friends in your school that you can stick to. Stick to Sunday school, wherever you are. Read your Bible. That will help you to make the decisions that you're going to go through. Again, it's follow the narrow gate. I know it's not easy, but this is the way that will lead to life. If you chose the wide gate, the parties, the whatever your friends are doing in the school, you will regret it later. You will regret it later. And I can share many stories with you if you like. But again, these things that you will regret, do not choose. Make the right decisions. Follow God's way. You're not the only one that going through. There are many people that are trying to follow God's commandments, and I pray that you are one of them and you stick to what you have learned in your Sunday school and all these years in the church and from your parents, the things that they have taught you, stick to this. So first point is follow God's instructions in the Bible. Second, you need to choose the narrow gate because it will lead to life. The wide gate will lead to destructions. So make the right decision. Thirdly, be careful because the world offers many idols and gods. Be careful. Don't be deceived. In colleges and in schools, they offer many ideas. Again, gods and idols, it's in the Old Testament, but again, back then they used to make an idol. Again, this is some that we don't do. But nowadays, we have many idols. Money could be an idol. Even pride can be an idol. Or God. All what I care about is myself. I'm self-centered. I'm just worshiping myself. What I need, what I want. This is what really matters. This is, again, is like self-centered persons. All I want is myself. So this is, again, it's like an idol that I have in my life. So be careful of that because the world offers many idols. Don't be deceived with these idols. Sometimes we think that we're not, and then when we find our actions sacrificing, we don't have time to prayers or time to go to church or even help someone, and all what we care about is our own selves. That's, again, it's an idol that we need to be careful not to be deceived, or because these idols will prevent you from going to a new relationship with God. How many times we found ourselves, our idols is just our friends and what they do. And our friends take us from the church and take us from the way of God. Because again, we want to be with our friends and do what they do and trying to fit in a crowd. So what do? We speak their language. We listen to the same music that they listen to. We act the same way they act. And then what do? Our friends becomes our idols, becomes our gods that we follow. The examples what we do. Be careful of that. Do not follow godly idols or godly ways or godly gods that will take you away from the way of the Lord. And lastly, the fourth step is, again, to always plan with God in mind. Always plan with God in mind. Meaning, many times we make the plan and then try to fit God in it. This is the wrong way. But when we plan, we pray about it first. We seek God's guidance. We seek His desires. But sometimes we base our plans on what we want, our emotions, our needs, what we see is right, then our plan. And then we pray, God bless this plan. We don't ask God first, God, we want you. What do you want me to do? Where do you want me to go? Which career you want me to study? Are you going to bless me in this way or not? You pray before you even take any steps. But we do what? We put our plans and we ask God to bless these plans that we put for ourselves. Needs a little bit modifications. Seek God's guidance first. Always seek Him first. Pray that God may open your heart. Today in the morning we were meditating on a verse in Colossians 3:1. Set your mind on the things that is above. You set your mind. All your mind you're thinking about things of heaven. So when you put God first, you set your mind on the things of God, all your plans will be blessed based on God's first. So you put God always in your plans. So you plan according to God's will, not trying to fit God to your plans. You ask God to bless you. You have God in your day, not just whenever you have free time, that's for God. This is again trying to fit God in your schedule. No, we want God is in control of your schedule, and then the other things goes in. Not just give God whenever we have time, we give Him the free time that we have. but God is in charge of ours, God. So trust in the Lord with all your hearts. Trust in the Lord with all your hearts, and lean not, depend not on your own understanding. Seek His will. This is how you seek God's guidance and plan in your life. And His will, and He will show you which path to take. I pray for all the graduates that God may bless them, guide them, protect them, give them guidance and strength. I pray that if you going in college, that God may bless your career, and then you choose the right one for you, and you'll be successful in whatever college that you're going to. If you're going to high school, I pray that you are being strong in the high school and following all the commandments of God. I know there are many temptations in high schools now, but I know that you're strong in the Lord, and you will stand and honor God with your friends and whatever you do in your school. If you're a college grad or post-grad, I pray as you start your careers, your jobs, to take God to be in control of your day, to honor God in whatever job that you're doing, and you're dealing with your co-workers, and you're dealing in your career. Be faithful as Joseph was faithful, and God will bless you, and He will guide you as you start your careers. I pray for all the graduates, and I'm so proud of you. We're so happy for you. The whole church is so happy for you. Your parents are so proud of you, and all your Sunday school teachers are so proud of you. May God bless. Thank you all.
First, ألف مبروك. You know Arabic, huh? ألف مبروك. So happy for you, as Abuna said. Hey, Abuna, he gave us 4 principles. I'm going to give you another 5 principles. How about that? No, I'm very quickly, actually, I'm going to say a couple words, then so we can continue the program. Every one of us looking for success, right? Every one of us looking for success. I never met somebody and he said, I want to be a failure, you know? Never heard. Everyone gonna be looking for success. Success, it doesn't mean that you have a lot of money. Success, it doesn't mean you have important job. This success doesn't mean all this stuff. Because the Lord Christ, He was very poor, right? The Lord Christ was very poor. The Lord Christ, He wasn't like in a big position. He was a carpenter. So what success mean? Success mean you impact other people around you to bring them to Christ. You impact other people around you to bring them back to Christ. This is what is called success. In order to have this success, I'm going to give you very quick 5 things. If you do it, you're going to be success in your spiritual. You're going to be success also in your work, your school, and everything. The first things to be successful, you need charisma. You know, one time we talk about charisma actually here in a servant meeting. Charisma coming from the word charis or Christo. واحنا جت منها في خارستية سر الشكر. Charisma means a blessing by the grace of God or thanksgiving for the grace of God. In order to be a charisma in your school, in your work, in your college, so the people, they look at you and they said, wow, that person is totally different. You need to be humble. You need to be humble. Because God actually gives grace to the humble people, but resist the pride. God gives grace to the humble people, but resist the pride. If we find all the saints around us, they have charisma. You don't have to talk too much. Saint Mary, for example, she wasn't a talkative person, but everyone loved her. Everyone loved her. Why? Because she's humble. She has a charisma. All the disciples, they didn't talk too much. They didn't have any knowledge or anything like that. They were fishermen. There's very simple people, but they have the charisma, the grace of God. Problem with ourselves right now is sometimes sometimes we are humble and people, we start to find grace in front of the people, and other time we're angry, we're doing something bad, then the grace of God disappear. So the first thing is charisma, and charisma comes from humbleness. So I want to give you the 5 things and look at what you have and try to do the others which you don't have in order to be successful. So the first things, you need to be humble. So the grace of God come upon you, and then you find the work of God in your life. The second thing is courage. Courage. You have to be initiated. In order to be successful, you need to be initiated. What's it mean, initiated? You don't to be a follower for everything. I don't want to do this one. I don't want to start this one. I want somebody else to start it. No, God, He wants you the first one to start. God, He wants you the first one to start. Don't be scared. If you trust in God, as Abuna said, the first thing to trust in God, don't be scared. God, He loves the person who throws himself and depend on Him. Joshua, my friend, when he started, he was so scared after Moses dead, you know? He was so scared. God, He said, don't be scared. I am with you. Then we found Joshua, he became a very famous leader in the Jewish history. Joshua became almost like Moses because he threw himself into the responsibility. So success, my friend, it need to throw, to go, initiate. So don't say everyone in a school, they do it, I'll do it. No. Then you are not going to be success. Or you wait for somebody to initiate a work, even if you work or something like that. Don't wait for anyone to initiate. You started something and you stand firm. We all know that Pope Kyrillos VI, the story about Pope Kyrillos VI, when they kick out the monks from the monastery, he stood out. He said, I'm going to go with them and I'm going to serve them. He took it based on the scriptures, based on the humbleness to serve others. So in order to be success, you have to jump and start right away. Don't wait for the others. Said, Malish dawa. It's not my business. If you do that, you are not going to be successful, by the way. So second thing is to be courage and initiate. The third one is communication. Communication is very, very important in order to gain others. And without communication, you can gain. Many times we find that people understand me or understand others wrong. Why? Because I don't speak correctly. I don't express my point correctly. So in order to be a success person, you have to speak correctly and you get your point of view correctly. You get your point of view correctly. Connection the other people to Christianity. آخر حاجة, the fourth is commitment, which Abuna talked about it too. Commitment. In order to be success in your school, your career, your work, your college, you need to be committed. Committed means I do all what is required for me for the job. Committed means I serve no matter what. Even if everybody left, I'm gonna serve. This is called commitment. تكون ملتزم. ملتزم بالassignment, you're gonna be committed with the assignment that give it to you. In your work, I have to be committed in my work to the last hour. If you wanna be successful. But some people, they said, no, I'm gonna work a couple hours and I leave and I don't care. All what I care is the salary. Then you are not committed. Then you are not committed. So you have to be committed. That's why the Lord, He said, well done, good and faithful servant. Abuna talk about this, to be faithful with the work which is given to you. Even in a service, believe me or not, many people they serve very well, like God give abundance. Give abundance. Why He give abundance? Because they committed to work. So if you are committed, you're gonna find that God give a lot. So you have to be committed. That's number 4. Number 5, consult others. Don't rely, as Abuna said, actually in the verse, and I didn't pray-bit مع Abuna, but looks like the Holy Spirit work with both of us, send the signal together. So the fifth one is consult other. Do not depend in your mind in everything. He said, well, we're grown, we're teenagers. Baba, mama, do nothing. Whatever they said, it doesn't matter. They don't understand what we live. No, please consult your parents. Consult the people who are older than you. Consult the people who work before you, because this is going to give you an experience of them. Most of the kids, when they come for confession, I told them consult your dad and mom because they are the best consultant for you. Best advisor. Take their advice very seriously because their advice based on experience, and they love you the most. No one loves you the most like your parents. So consult others. Do not depend on yourself. He said, well, I know everything. Nobody knows everything. As you become more and more humble and consult others, you start actually to build more and more knowledge and to be success also in your career. I'm going to conclude with the verse for the time. It said in Proverbs, plan fail for the lack of the counsel, but with many advisor, they succeed. So the plan fail with a lack of counsel, but with many advisor, they succeed. I wish you all a happy and a blessed, and congratulate every one of you. We are so proud, as Abuna said. I'm so proud of you. Many of you, I taught you in the middle school when they were young. Now they are graduate, postgraduate. May God bless you all. And also, you should actually thank your parents, because your parents, they work very, very hard in order to be success. God bless you all and be with you all. Thank you.
في حد لقى التليفون ده بره يعني بتاع حد معايا.
Thank you, Abuna Samuel and Abuna Mina, for the talks. You guys have had a very impactful part on each of the graduates' lives, so they're very thankful for both of you. And now we have the grad slideshow. This will be showing pictures of the graduates throughout the years. Just cheer, because some are not the best, but it's okay. We love them. We love each of them, and we're celebrating them today. So please enjoy this trip down memory lane. And now, I'm sorry, you guys are going to see me all day. Sorry. And now we will be showing a video of the graduates answering some questions so we can understand their thoughts and perspective and how they got through whatever school they got through.
What is something you are passionate about?
I'm passionate about dentistry. I'm gonna be your dentist in 4 years, so just wait on that. And working out. Just hope everyone like watching this right now knows I'm bigger than you, and you'll never attain my greatness.
What is your favorite way to spend a lazy Saturday afternoon?
I go shopping with my sister, engineer. Sometimes we go to the mall. We leave my sister and my mom and everyone and just go around, go to Sephora and like use all the samples.
If you could thank one person for helping you get through school, who would it be and why?
I would like to thank my my dad and my mom for supporting me, and my sister. Thank you very much, and for all my friends at church.
What is something about yourself that not many people know?
When I have time in the mornings, I watch the news with Shay and cereal.
How do you feel about the graduates?
Super excited for them.
For the fellowship meeting graduates, we're very proud of them because they're determined, they has the vision, and they're leading by example. They haven't saved any efforts, and actually we are impressed and we're emotional about this.
If today was your last day, what would you do?
I would spend the whole day with a monk in Egypt, like in a monastery.
Hey, what you doing?
What is the craziest excuse you ever used to get out of doing homework or studying?
There's always a saying, the older you are, the wiser you are. So I'd wait till the very last second, because then therefore I'll be the wisest I am, and then do the assignment. Done.
It's not true. What are you most proud of?
I would say I'm most proud of my weight loss. I lost around like 80 to 100 pounds in my high school years.
If you could relive one church event, what would it be and why?
One of the retreats back in February, like one of the winter ones, like we broke a toilet or something.
If we make one subject disappear, which would it be and why?
Social studies. I hate history, and I'm not gonna need anything that I learned in that class in my life.
Best compliment you've ever received?
It was for my academic achievements, specifically my SAT score.
What do you feel most qualified to give advice on?
Is time management, specifically just balancing between school and like church activities. I feel like God has given me a special grace in that area of life.
Tell me about a time you misbehaved and got in trouble as a kid.
When I was a kid, I would get in trouble for throwing my parents' clothes and dishes from the second floor, putting my dad's new phone in the tub.
You could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be and why?
Pizza and ice cream.
One memory that brings a smile to your face.
It was my graduation day, since I graduated with all my friends and I had my family there.
What is one of your biggest pet peeves?
I hate when people walk with their toes pointed out. Also when people pick their ears in public. No. What is your go-to gas station snack?
Doritos.
If you could invite 3 fictional characters to your grad party, who would they be?
Batman. Probably Anakin Skywalker. And Elsa.
Who has had the largest impact on your life and why?
My family had the largest impact on my life because they always support me. They help me achieve my dreams and my goals.
If you could trade lives with anybody for one day, who would it be?
1 hour later.
I have no clue.
1 eternity later.
Like a monk, maybe, because they're so peaceful.
What is one thing you have never told your parents?
Back in high school, when I was taking my AP test for AP Bio, I stayed up studying at night, really, I just laid down on the couch and watched a movie called Osmosis Jones, hoping that would help out. Then I took the AP test and I fell asleep during the test. There's one embarrassing moment that you can now laugh at.
I remember this was during my 3rd year of medical school. I was on my surgery rotation, and my surgeon or my attending, he would allow me to close up patients, and we'd use this circular hook needles to close up patients. And I remember one of these patients had super thick skin, and my attending would let me close up this patient. So I was closing up the patient, and I remember my attending he trusted me enough to go to lunch, which was clearly a bad idea, and you could already see where this is going. So I was like closing up this patient with this hook, and as I was like pushing, like I felt like it was like very like tough skin. So I was like pushing in and out, and then eventually like I pull up and I find like half the needle missing. I'm like, oh my goodness, like what do I do? So I ended up like talking to the scrub tech. I'm like, hey, like go get the attending who's at lunch, and they're like what happened? I'm like half the needle's missing, and anyways the attending comes and he's like, where's the needle? I'm like, I have no idea. So they end up getting like, you know, like magnets to sweep the floor. They ended up getting an x-ray machine to see if like the needle was inside the patient, and my attending was like, where is it? I'm like, I don't know, it could be here, it could be here, I have no idea. And then and then eventually, thank God, he found it inside the patient.
If you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
A superpower would be knowledge. I want to solve unsolved mysteries. I want to make more informed decisions.
How would you say growing up at St. George has changed your perspective?
Not only did I make a bunch of friends, I made a bunch of family as well.
My friends, they also they moved me dearly.
It made me more connected with the people.
Honestly, it was just a huge blessing to be part of St. George.
Having an amazing family, everyone supporting me.
You don't realize how much of a community you really have until you leave.
Community and fellowship really helped me achieve the impossible.
Like it's my second family.
I feel like we're one big family, and I feel like we really stress the importance of service.
A lot of true friends.
We're all very close at St. George. The people at St. George are more like family.
People here are going to be your ride or die, so don't lose them.
It's pushed me to want to achieve more.
St. George is like one big family.
All these amazing, amazing servants like investing in me.
And when I came from Egypt, they were so amazing.
We're all just family.
I'd like to thank everybody at St. George.
Shout out to all of you.
Now I go around trying to help everyone and put a smile on everybody's face.
I feel like it really taught me a lot of like the foundational knowledge of how to be a good servant.
The social spectrum derived from the Egyptian culture has definitely pushed me to be a better person.
Egyptians can't keep a secret.
It just makes me feel like safe and different and unique.
Gives me Montessori vibes.
It really showed me how to use my talents for the glory of God.
Okay.
So do you want to hand them?
I hand the certificates. You sure? I signed them.
Or do you want one of the?
Huh?
You can hand it.
No, hand it to you. It has your signature. I can't. They're still no.
All right, so we are gearing up to bid farewell to another unforgettable chapter in the lives of these graduates. So as we prepare to embark on this next chapter, we're going to take a moment to honor our brothers and sisters with some lighthearted superlatives. So please remember, graduates, that these superlatives are in good spirits. So we're going to keep this atmosphere positive and uplifting. And each person is going to celebrate at least one superlative, and they will get a wonderful certificate signed by Abuna for your great accomplishment, which we will all detail these right now. So so when your name is called, please come forward, receive your certificate from Abuna, and take a picture to celebrate, and then we're going to take a picture with the group. All right, so let's get started with the middle school. You all have some wonderful things to look at right now. So, buffering 1 second, please. Next. Okay, so most likely to start a heated debate of whether or not pizza is Siami or not goes to Justina Hanna. Justina, is it Siami or not? right. Uh, most likely to start a TikTok trend. This goes to the amazing Viola Saeed. Next up with these amazing awards, most likely to confuse holy water with normal water and then accidentally bless their ramen goes to Janir Amir. All right, now most likely to catch a deacon's sleeve on fire in the altar goes to Diakon Stephen Khalil. Most likely to wander off and be convinced that they discovered Narnia is Lucy Justina Rafael. No, it didn't hit. Yeah, I don't think it did. Lucy is the girl from Narnia, by the way, everybody. All right. Most likely to lead a rebellion against the church servants for not going on enough outings is Jesse Migueli. That's facts. That's actually facts. I can witness to that, Jesse. Most likely to have a Coptic hymn on their gym playlist is big guy David Raphael. Most likely to get all A's but can't remember the 12 disciples' names goes to Valerie Solomon. All right, pop quiz. Tell us the 12. All right. Most likely to win a Nobel Prize for discovering the scientific formula for perfectly timed bathroom breaks during the liturgy. That goes to Irini Khaled. Most likely to have napped through all of their classes this year goes to Miss Nadine Salema. Most likely to become a future Sunday school teacher who quotes SpongeBob goes to Yuenna Gergis. Most likely to do community service but stops every 10 minutes for a snack break. That goes to Trinity Ibrahim. Most likely to set off the church fire alarm while trying to reenact the burning bush scene goes to Peter Solomon. Most likely to get 0 kills in Fortnite, as you guessed it, that's Karos Shaheta. Nope. Everybody knows you've been exposed, Karas. Sorry.
Now for our high school superlatives. Most likely to convince all their friends to go to Tasbeha and end up not going themselves. Jesse. The most likely to play hymns at their wedding reception. Ramunda Girgis. Most likely to trip over their own feet while holding an icon for a procession. Yusuf Shahid. Most likely to fall asleep during Sunday school, yet still answer the question correctly. Ketu. The most creative excuses to being late to Sunday school every week. Yusuf. The one that is most likely to procrastinate their way through their degree, Gio. And now we have the fellowship. For fellowship and above, most likely to be late for their own graduation ceremony. Madonna Skender. Most likely to play Eflugi Menos, wow, not even a kiss more old, when they walk into their grad party. George Bashara. Most likely to relate a Bible verse to their favorite television show. Bishoy Khalil. Most likely to try and negotiate the price of their tuition. Tony Dose. Most likely to fall asleep during Bright Saturday or Abu Ghalam Seas, Miriam McNook. Most likely to get lost trying to find their car in the parking lot, Theriel Masood. Most likely to go so hard and do all the matanyas on Good Friday that they end up on the floor because their legs gave out. Eva Dos. And yeah, you guys could guess this one. If you are in any group chat with this human being, the best gifts that are sent in the group chat are by Michael Bishara. the one that is most likely to go all 4 years without giving a fellowship talk, Veronia Morcos. Most likely to forget all their Arabic when they move out, Mariam Silman. Sorry. I'm not the one that made them. Thank you. Hope you guys are all not offended, just for jokes, just funny. Some were true, but funny. Okay, now we invite all the graduates to come up on the stage for a group picture so we could capture this special moment. So you guys could make your way up, please. All the graduates.
Congratulations to all the graduates. Big hand for them and their parents, Sunday school servants. Now we also would like to thank all the servants who planned this celebration. Rania, George, and Sandy, and all the youth who worked on it. I'm not sure the names, but I don't want to forget any, but many servants, the usher, the organization. It's wonderful. Thank you so much for your big hand for all the servants who planned it, please. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Abuna Mina and I will be here if you want to take personal pictures with your family, with your graduates. And also you can take pictures outside if you like. We'll be here for a little bit for pictures if you like to. Thank you. May God bless.